How's it going, Bryte Church? Matt with another devotional. And I wanted to start with, what are your thoughts on how you saw God? Maybe currently, or maybe as you were growing up. And I think a lot of times, me, myself included, is we see God as this lawgiver, this divine, holy lawgiver that always is in heaven thinking of new rules, creating new rules, no fun, all serious. Make sure that you don't laugh, and make sure that, you follow all these rules, because if you miss out, watch out, you're going to get zapped. And when we read the verses on freedom, they didn't make a lot of sense to me, and I'm sure to many other people as well. We see, Jesus gave us freedom. For example, the verse that we're looking at today is Galatians 5:1, and it says, "For freedom, Christ has set us free. Stand firm, therefore, do not submit again to a yoke of slavery." And so the idea then becomes, wait a minute, if Jesus came to set us free, why do we feel so enslaved on this earth? Why do not we don't feel this freedom that it talks about in scriptures? Or it doesn't even maybe make sense to us that God would allow freedom, because we have this different idea of freedom on this earth. Freedom for us is no rules, do whatever you want, and that's freedom. But I think when we start to look at the story of earth, and we look at Genesis, the first man and woman, Adam and Eve, they had only one rule, and that was not to eat of the tree of knowledge. And then just imagine a world that God created that was beautiful, that everything was perfect, and He just had one rule: do anything you want, enjoy, this is all for you, just don't do this. And we see that God is actually not a God of rules. He's a God of freedom. He put Adam and Eve in this beautiful world, and He says, enjoy, just don't do this. Why? Because it will actually hurt you. You will actually then die, because you will come to understand what evil is, and the true life of knowledge. And so now what happened? Why do we have all these rules, all these regulations, all of this signs everywhere, rules? Well, we look at Genesis 3, and our first parents did the very thing that they weren't not to. They were told not to do this, and they actually did it. And this opens the door to sin. With sin comes death, and humans become slaves, or we all are born as slaves to sin and slaves to death, because we need Jesus Christ to set us free. And this is what this passage in Galatians teaches us. But the world teaches us freedom. Hey, no restraints, no rules. We have protests going on all over the country. Ban the police. The police are evil. All the lawmakers back in the day, they were evil. They were racist. Anybody that's doing anything that I don't like, it's hindering my freedom. Take it away. I want freedom, and I want everything for free. But what we see in the Bible is we are all evil. We are born in sin, and we need Jesus Christ to set us free. And what God does is, when we take time and think about that idea, He knows we're evil, and He gave us this safety guard with the rules that He put in His Word. And now we see Him not as a lawmaker or a rule maker just sitting in heaven waiting for us. One more rule that I got to add to you guys. We should see Him as a good father that sets limits for their kids, sets morals and ethical perimeters for us to make sure, hey, don't go too far, don't do this, just like He did in the garden. The reason we have a lot more rules is because we now live in a sinful world. And so just a couple examples, with love, he says love is an awesome thing. Marriage is an awesome thing. But watch out for lust. Watch out for this. Watch out for your eyes. Watch out for your, just your thoughts. And he lists these rules. But the rules are so that we can enjoy love purely. And same thing with wealth. He says wealth is a blessing. Just watch out for greed. Watch out for envy. Watch out for, thinking about money all day and night. And he sets these rules as a good father would, sitting beside his kids and saying, hey, this is going to be really good, but watch out for this. And so I think what all of us can take away, and I love this idea of true freedom, is, are we looking at God as a God of rules or a God of freedom, true freedom? And I think when we realize that his laws are perfect and they're good for us, we start to completely change our mind or perspective on rules and his word, because we see him as a loving God who created a place like the Garden of Eden, and he said, enjoy. And now we ruined it, or the people, whoever ruined it, and now he says, okay, if you still want to enjoy, you have to come to me and I can show you the way. So I really hope that you guys get encouraged by this. I'll read it again, Galatians 5:1. For freedom, Christ has set us free. Stand therefore and do not submit again to a yoke of slavery. God bless you guys, and I hope that you get to enjoy the freedom that we have in Christ only through Jesus Christ and his blood for us.